I'm happy to be classified as boring and effective.
Abigail Spanberger's path to politics is full of secrets, literally. She spent 8 years as a CIA officer, mostly focusing on counterterrorism, before becoming the Congresswoman for the 7th District of Virginia. The daughter of a federal law enforcement officer, Spanberger always knew she wanted a life in public service. But the September 11th attacks jump-started that move. By the next year, she had applied for the CIA and had a confidential offer.
What I was doing as a CIA officer is I was working to collect valuable information that would allow policymakers, the president, to make good informed decisions about issues of national security. So where I think it's relevant is I would have those conversations with people from all spectrums, different country backgrounds, different political backgrounds, and what I needed to find was a commonality.
Like many of the new women in Congress, the 2016 election really pushed her into politics. But unlike some of her more liberal colleagues, she considers herself a moderate through what she calls, quote, passionate pragmatism.
I can disagree with people on 100 things, and that 101st thing we agree on is a good place to start that conversation.
What do you think the difference is in your legislative approach, having been in the intelligence community yourself?
I think my background will lead me to frequently ask the question, what is the goal of this legislation? If enacted, will it have the desired outcome, and what could be the problems that we may not be anticipating? Because as an intelligence officer, you are frequently, whatever plan you are creating, you have to deal with contingencies, because nothing ever goes the way 100% of the time the way you want it to go.
When you were running and during a debate moment that kind of went viral and introduced you, I think, to so many young women who are looking to stand on their own. Your opponent kept talking about Nancy Pelosi.
The Nancy Pelosi policies of Nancy Pelosi. I vote for the Nancy Pelosi.
And I ask for your vote on November the 6th. Abigail Spanberger is my name.
I was just a little fired up. And I didn't realize, of course, at the time, how impactful it would be to so many people. I think we've all had those moments where we wanted to stand up for something that was important and people just sort of put us in a box of opinions. I think it comes down to the fact that I was consistent in the things I was talking about. I was consistent in explaining myself, and I have to be accountable to everyone. I have to listen to everyone.
You're a part of the Blue Dog Coalition, the moderates. I've heard you call your approach passionate pragmatism.
I can't get that to stick as a thing. No. Nobody seems to go with that.
We'll throw it in here and see how that works out. But you're currently in a party where the loudest part of that party is liberal. The people that are getting the most attention again on social media are people on the left. What are your feelings about the race from the center for both parties, but specifically for the Democratic Party?
So I think the great thing about the Democratic Coalition and the Democratic Caucus is that we are a broad group of people. And we have people from all sorts of districts, rural, suburban, urban, bright blue, tinged purple. And so I think it's incredibly important that all of the voices in our caucus contribute to the discussions.
You had your first meeting of the Foreign Affairs Committee this week, 2 days ago?
It feels like a week.
It could be a month ago.
It might have been yesterday, I don't know.
What do you think the state of our foreign policy is? You seem like a good person to ask that.
Our foreign policy is troubled at this point, in my perspective. I think that there have been many inconsistent initiatives put forth by the administration that have made our partners and allies, and even our adversaries, question the direction that we are heading as a country. So I think that whatever we can do on the legislative side to uphold what I think has been a long-term priority for the United States, which is to lead by example and to be a stabilizing and positive force in the world, we need to do it.